Looking at these two men in the ring here, Dr. Bob, would one have the advantage over the other, or is this a pretty evenly matched going in for both men?
Well, I don't know if these two have ever faced off one-on-one against each other. I know they have some multi-man experience, but Seaway Valley Wrestling bringing you some of the best matches, some of the freshest opponents you have ever seen, the freshest matches. As to answer your question, does one have the advantage? I would say perhaps slightly with Josh Alexander. He's had some big wins all across the ring, of course, with a gigantic momentum, taking Impact Wrestling by storm. Benjamin Tull, though, is going to use that, perhaps a jealousy, to fuel the fire of his rage here tonight. He's one that goes in and tries to win every single belt in all and every promotion he's been in. Seaway Valley Wrestling is going to be no different once we can figure out who is at the absolute top of the mountain. Benjamin Tull is going to bring it, and he is going to want to make a statement here tonight.
Here we go, folks. Bell has rung. Benjamin Tull taking on the walking weapon, Josh Alexander here. Battle of the Heavyweights at Seaway Valley Wrestling presents High Impact.
You want to watch some strikes, you want to watch some clubs and knife-edge chops. Tull and Alexander are going to bring it to you in spades.
Right off the bat here, Tull starting the mind games with Alexander. Alexander not having any of it, not a care in the world.
Well said, he's seen it all. He's been wrestling for so long at such a high caliber. Someone like Tull, who would intimidate most of his opponents and frustrate them.
This time Tull goes to the outside, goes for a little walk around the ring.
I've seen this many a time out of the man from MTL Elite. Just scaring children.
You're just going to flinch from Tull and a 4-year-old? I think we did.
He's going to backhand him, I think. I really think you're going to have Josh Alexander
go for a nap. Someone set the alarm for Alexander to get up here. He's taking a quick cat nap in the ring. Not sure how warm that would be as a bed sheet, but nonetheless.
Well, he's sensing some disrespect from Benjamin Tull, so he's going to disrespect Tull right back.
Alexander not phased by the mind games played by Benjamin Tull here. Not chasing him.
Did you hear that? Tull knows he is inside Alexander's head.
Benjamin Tull trying to get the crowd into it here. I wouldn't say Cornwall's a 50-50 crowd in English and French. Mostly a little bit more, I'd say 70-30 English. Trying to get a French chant here by Benjamin Tull. That might not be successful.
Well, French chant or not, I know who the fans are going to be behind, and that is the walking weapon.
Both men in the corner, referee going for a 5 count. Whoa. Big shove by Alexander.
Some big boys in that ring. That is certainly not illegal.
Tull complaining that a regular schoolyard shove is illegal in the squared circle. That is not the case.
Oh, let's watch how many shortcuts Benjamin Tull tries to take.
Finally, both men locking up here.
Side headlock.
Tull goes in the ropes. Big shoulder tackle. Alexander goes down, which is not something you see very often early on in the match.
I'm telling you, Benjamin Tull has taken on some of the biggest and baddest challengers all across the land, and he's come out on top more times than not. He's one serious main eventer in any single promotions he can come across. Seaway Valley Wrestling, though, this matchup is going to mean the world to him. He's really got to get the win here to propel him right up the ladder. Alexander, though, as you mentioned before, he's got to get that win back from his major upset loss, I'd say, to Shelton Jean.
Shelton Jean picked up the win at Seaway Valley presents Love Hurts. Currently going up against Benjamin Tull, looking for a strength test. Tull playing mind games, switching hands left and right, left and right. Big chop by Alexander, having none of that.
Tull very proud of himself for a second, but not so much now.
Got caught off guard there. I don't think Tull was expecting a slap like that. Holding his chest, almost gasping for air.
Benjamin Tull, also former C4 Underground champion. In a very short amount of time, he's been collecting belts all over, but to somebody like the standard bearer that we called him as last show of a Josh Alexander, he's not going to take this lightly at all, belt or no belt.
If we had a 7 count, Benjamin Tull back in the ring here.
Hey, calm down.
And then trying to get the advantage over the necks here. Lock up.
Collar and elbow, look at the strength. They're just shoving each other, and Tull using his advantage to pull him to side headlock. Whoa!
Trips Tull here. Alexander pouncing on him.
Wonderfully done, and that's what you want to get off of the drop down here.
Oh, for a quick pin here. 1-2.
Dragged him down out of a side headlock. Arm wringer.
Showing the strength here.
Look at the angle of his wrist and look at where the leverage he's pulling him up.
An arm and a wrist does not bend that way, Dr. Bob.
I'll tell the doctor how anatomy works. Benjamin Tull going corner to corner. That is a big club to the back.
Big shot by Tull on Alexander.
Look at
Standing straight. Chop of his own. Tull down. Oh!
top wrist lock and then drops down with a foot right across elbow. Marky's trying to dislocate something in his arm.
Limb by limb, Alexander is attempting to take Tull here piece by piece.
It bears repeating from last show as well.
Big
Good
hammer.
gosh. Josh Alexander is proving himself right before he was signed to Impact, and still now, even more so, proving himself the best in all of Canada. He was the standard bearer in this entire
Going
industry.
for a pin. 1, 2. Tull kicks out here, Josh Alexander.
Rearranged Tull's spine.
Canadian strong style, as he puts it. You could hear it in those forearms and the chops. Oh my God!
Did you see the entire front row wince after that one? I have not seen such a collective reaction. It was like a wave.
I think my chest hurts a little bit on that one, Dr. Bob.
I'll take off a button or two here and check.
Jeez. Tull asking for no more. Attempted, missed one. Big chop, Tull of his own.
Overhead for this one.
Forearm by Alexander.
Rocking their opponent.
Nice little belly-to-belly suplex.
Nothing little about that one, Marky.
Going for a pin, Alexander kicks out at 2. Yet again, the wrestlers tonight have an issue with the referees here.
It was still only a 2 count, as much as Benjamin Tull disagrees with that one. Putting all his weight across the back and isolating the neck in there.
Agony in Josh Alexander's face. Heavy kicks by Benjamin Tull. Taking a toll on Alexander. As I say that, big punch by Alexander. Another club by Tull. Back and forth between these two big men.
Oh, I'm going to give Alexander the striking advantage here. I don't know if Tull wants to go toe-to-toe with him.
Tull on the ropes, reversal. Big clothesline by Benjamin Tull.
I think Tull's impressing a lot of people that thought this was going to be an easier match for the walking weapon.
I think for a lot of people who saw Josh Alexander, the last Seaway Valley Wrestling event had him as not the underdog, but to actually take the win over here. But Benjamin Tull standing toe-to-toe, or in this case, on top of Josh Alexander.
Wasn't Tull the one complaining about illegal shoves, and now he's going for chokes on the mat?
Trying to get the crowd into it here. A lot of boos for Benjamin Tull here.
Oh, it looks like he's going to smack a child. That certainly is going to be DQ.
Oh, Alexander chest first into the top turnbuckle.
Look at his face, Marky Mark.
That will take the breath, the air out of you.
Grimacing in pain, and to get somebody like Josh Alexander down on that in that much pain, you have got to have some serious strength behind your Irish whips.
Benjamin Tull can't let up here. Can't let the big man, Josh Alexander, any moment to rest and regain composure. Alexander topples Tull at the top, but he hangs on. Big crossbody. Alexander and Tull both tumble to the outside. Referee begins the 10 count.
It really looked like he wanted to decapitate his opponents. We've seen that many, many a time from Josh Alexander, but every single time it looks more and more vicious. Alexander.
Referee up to a 3 count. Alexander first one back to his feet.
Living up to his name as well, the walking weapon. His whole body is a weapon in a matchup like this.
Both men back in the ring here. And heavyweight tilt so far here at Seaway Valley Wrestling. Wonderful back and forth here for the pin. Tull on Alexander. 1-2, kick out at 2.
What a back and forth matchup. Every single time someone looks like they have the advantage. Goes right back to a stalemate.
Alexander on his knees. Tull, big kicks to the head, to the forehead, to the shoulders. constantly attacking here, but taking his eye off Alexander, even for a second. Big punch. Saw Alexander shake his right hand here. That did take a toll on him.
Look at these forearms would knock out a lesser man.
If a punch hurts with the hand, go with the forearm. Benjamin Tull calling for the end here. Alexander with the reversal. Look at the strength. Big suplex.
And that is one big individual that he just held in the air. It's a massive exhibition of strength from Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander trying to get a couple seconds here. Seems like those chops and those kicks took a toll on him. Referee begins the 10 count.
If both opponents cannot get up to their feet in a controlled manner up to a 10 count, this will be ruled a double count out.
Just joining us here, folks, this is Seaway Valley Wrestling presents High Impact. I am Marky Mark with Dr. Bob, calling this heavyweight match between Benjamin Tull and the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. We are on your TV. Thank you very much for joining us.
Knife edge chops and forearms have been the story of this matchup.
Got to give credit to Benjamin Tull here and Josh Alexander. Both men not giving up at all.
Both men usually the stronger of opponents in their matchups. This match was everything it was built to be and more.
Blocks the chop. Alexander gets tossed in the ropes. They're looking for perhaps a back body drop. Gets back tossed in the ropes. Big chop by Alexander. Down goes Tull.
Just knocked off the gigantic Benjamin Tull with a knife edge chop.
Tull looking for a run. Oh, big kick to the head by Alexander. And a German suplex in the top corner. Rolling Tull. Alexander going for the pin. Kick out by Tull at 2.
Didn't have control of that pin like he would want to. You saw him slipping a little bit when trying to grasp the leg. That might have been the difference in this matchup if you had more control on that pin. But suffice to say that they're far from over. Josh Alexander looking like going for the knockout for the kill right now.
Alexander might be calling for the end here.
Either a pile driver, either a power bomb, perhaps. How do you pick up the man of size of Benjamin Tull?
Trying to pick him up here. Big reversal by Tull. We got a roll up. 1, 2. Tull kicks out at 2. Awfully close here. Alexander still on the attack. Huge sit down power bomb. This has to be at 1, 2. Oh!
2 3/4.
How did Tull kick out of that? Alexander is shocked. That was 2 7/8, folks, and don't quote me on my math.
Fractions, whatever they may have been, that was a close, that was a hair away from the end. Josh Alexander, however, look at him grasping at his arm, grasping at the back of his neck. There is pain just coursing through that man's body. He's got to push that out. He's got to use the adrenaline to overcome the pain and try to score the win.
They pick the big man up again.
Spinning tombstone would have been the end of Benjamin Tull.
Wonder how much energy he has here to pick up the big man yet again. Tull picking up Alexander himself.
That's it!
That has to be it. Alexander's down, shoulders down. 1, 2. Alexander kicks out at 2.
Screaming, what?
Now Benjamin Tull's turn to be shocked. Wonder what he has to do to put Alexander away.
So many of his opponents. That was not enough to finish off. Ooh!
Huge kick. Alexander down. Going for a pin. 1, 2. Alexander yet again kicks out.
I was about to say that kick wasn't the flashiest thing we've saw in all match, but that might have been the most effective. Alexander is down.
Referee advising Benjamin Tull that was in fact a 2 count. Maybe a 2.5, but certainly not a 3.
He's going for that tumbleweed senton I've seen. Maybe his did that.
It's a big
man. Be academic.
That's a big man. He's about to fly. And he missed. Nobody home. This could be the opening Alexander needs. Pulling
Struggling
himself
to get to his feet. Willing himself to get to his feet.
And nobody home for Tull as well. Alexander looking the high fly.
Alexander's not very familiar on the top rope.
Alexander down.
It's over!
This has to be the end here, folks. Tull, Alexander on his shoulders.
Island. He's going for, he's going for the cradle shock.
In reversal, big forearm by Alexander. How much do these two men have left?
I'm just exhausted watching this, Marky Mark, and I'm not even in the ring.
It seems like every strike they have is a little less hard. From the strike, Alexander takes him down. He has to go for the pin, rolls him over. We got is it an ankle lock? In the middle of the ring, Alexander locked in tight.
You got the upper body strength of a Josh Alexander. That ankle lock can finish off at any time of a matchup.
Pulls a heights on, sits down, locks it in. The pain on Tull's face. That's it. Tull taps. Josh Alexander picks up the win by submission. Wonderful, wonderful ankle lock.
Fans, I implore you, tell your friends about that matchup. That was one for the ages. This is the kind of matchup that puts SVW on the map. Josh Alexander, Benjamin Tull. This is what Seaway Valley Wrestling is all about.